We'll wait another minute and see if Casey joins. Okay. Okay, so it is 5:01. I am going to call the meeting to order. This is the December 3rd, 2020 Design Review Committee meeting, and I'll go through roll call. Casey Wyckoff?
Here.
Kevin Bruner?
I'm here.
Dawn Redmond?
Here.
Whitney Henyon?
Here.
And Heather Vo.
Here.
And then Jim Short and Melissa Smith are excused. Lauren, you can go ahead.
Okay. Can everyone hear me okay? All right. So welcome. It's the City of Camas Design Review Committee meeting for December 3rd, 2020. And I'm going to go ahead and kick this off. Usually, I'm Lauren Hollenbeck, Senior Planner. Usually what we've done when we have met in person before is I would just sort of give a background real quick of the purpose of design review before each project. But I thought because we're going to be doing this via Zoom that I would just do this at the beginning of the meeting. So just real quick, the purpose of design review is to review a proposed development for compliance with city codes and plans related to landscaping, architectural elevations, and other elements relative to required improvements. The Design Review Committee makes recommendations. They make recommendations to staff for a final approval or decision, but the Design Review Committee must consider the general design review standards along with the specific standards for the proposed use that's being reviewed, that would be reviewed on the agenda. A design review checklist is utilized by the Design Review Committee as guidance for reviewing the applicable standard and specific principles. The standard and specific principles are required and must be demonstrated to have been satisfied in overall intent for design review approval. The standard design guidelines are developed to assist a project in meeting the established principles, and each guideline should be adequately addressed. If the proposal cannot meet a specific guideline, then an explanation should be provided by the applicant as to why and how it will be mitigated to satisfy, again, the overall intent of the design principles. And with that, I would like to turn it over to Madeline for the first agenda item.
Thank you, Lauren. Madeline Sutherland, Assistant Planner. So I will start off with the first item on our agenda, the SS Design duplexes. First off, I'll share my screen and I will give a quick overview of the project, and then I'll let the applicant jump in afterwards and give any further explanation and answer any questions. And then after that, we'll go through the checklist. Let me share my screen for you. Okay, here we, oops. Nope, sorry, trying to, okay. So the meeting item is the SS Design 2 duplexes. The file number is DR 20-04. And the subject property is just east of Forest Home Park and west of downtown. And you can see just south of it is Northwest 6th Avenue. And the property is about 0.3 acres and it fronts Northwest 7th Avenue. It is zoned multifamily residential, MF18. So are the surrounding properties. Just to the north in the purple is, oh, let me move your faces, zoned neighborhood commercial, and that is a market. And then just to the south southwest of it, that red area, it's zone community commercial, and there is a clinic and single family residence there as well. And then here is the landscape plan. They have a landscape buffer on each side of the property lines. There are 2 street trees provided in the front yard, and there are 3 trees between both units. And there is an existing driveway on the west side, and that'll be paved to access the duplex to the south. That's on the property. And then the elevations. Sorry, let me move. Your faces keep getting in the way on my screen, so I've got to move it. These are the elevations that were, I think this is exhibit 6 in the packet. Due to the slopes on site, the south duplex does have the garages below and then the front door, as well as 2 upper levels. And the applicant is proposing earth tones, taupe, browns, colors like that for the hardy plank siding. And I can let the applicant answer any questions that you have or give an overview if they would like. Slavik, do you have anything you'd like to add to the presentation?
Pretty much nailed it. It's going to be similar to the product that we're already doing to the south. So just a couple of duplex buildings, nothing too fancy.
Just to clarify, the property abutting the south of the subject property, they are building a duplex.
Correct. Yeah.
As well. Mm-hmm. And then if the committee members don't have any questions, I can start going through the checklist.
Maybe one question is
Sure.
so there's an existing paved driveway on the
Mhm.
property. What are the other existing features on the site?
There used to be a single family residence that was demoed earlier this year, and that's just it. It's a vacant lot right now.
Okay, thank you.
I'll pull up the checklist. Can everyone see the checklist? Okay, perfect. So the first one is corrugated material, standing seam, T111, or similar siding materials are avoided unless it produces a high visual or aesthetic quality.
We don't have any of those materials. We're not proposing any of the metal or the T111 siding.
So does the committee agree with this?
Yes.
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 Building walls or fences visible from roadways are articulated in order to avoid a blank look. Slavik, you didn't indicate, are you proposing any fences along the property line or in front?
Not in the front. It's just going to be on the east side. So,
Okay, so it won't be visible from the roadway, so that would be not applicable. The use of bold colors has been avoided unless used as minor accents.
So yeah, we're not proposing any bold colors. There's a materials board that I took some pictures of. I have it here also with some sample colors. Is that gonna?
And that was
Is that
for
show
the, okay, yes. That should be an exhibit that I sent to, or it was on.
It's in there.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, yes. And then higher densities / larger structures abutting lower density residential structures have been designated to mitigate size and scale differences.
So there's 2-story homes out there right now. I think the south, and mostly it's 1-story homes, the east and west. So we're not building any skyscrapers here yet.
Maybe it's just not applicable. It's just such a low scale.
Okay. Then moving on to landscaping and screening. We have vegetation for landscaping includes native low maintenance plantings. Significant trees are retained if feasible. Now there were no significant trees on site.
What is the new landscaping then? I saw there's a few trees, but
Let me see what they.
There will be a landscape buffer along the property line, as well as I think 5 additional trees proposed.
Yeah, so we're proposing a few. What did they pick out?
That'd be a yes.
Yeah,
well, yeah, as long as the applicant is saying that what's being planted is either native and or low maintenance, then that would make sense. Because we don't know what the plants are.
yeah, they're very low maintenance. These are going to be rental duplexes, I believe. Yes, we got a few street trees, got a few fire cherries. What else? A few Japanese maple, ground cover and mulch.
So then, yeah, they are native and low maintenance planting. The next one is trees planted along streetscapes with overhead power lines include only those trees identified in the city's tree list. There are no overhead power lines along the street. There is a utility easement to the west, but that's not along the street.
All right.
VNA. Next one is landscaping, including trees, shrubs, and vegetation. Ground cover is provided to visually screen and buffer the use of adjoining less intense uses, including parking.
We have just the two. We just have the 2-unit parking facing 7. The rest of the parking is down below to the south. And then yeah, we got the street trees for screening.
So yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I think some of you are shaking your heads yes, but I can't see everyone, so I just want to make sure. Next one is proposed fencing is incorporated into the landscaping so as to have little or no visual impact.
Yeah.
So it's fenced on the other 3 sides?
So we are gonna only have fencing on the east side, and maybe on the west side. None to the north or the south.
Okay, and will that be on the property line?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Signs located, there are no signs proposed, so that would be NA.
Great.
Next is landscape lighting, low voltage, non-glare, indirect lighting is directed, hooded or shielded away from neighboring properties. Is there any landscape lighting proposed?
There is no landscape lighting.
No, okay, so NA.
Yep.
Sorry, Heather, were you saying something?
Yes, I just said yes.
Oh, okay. Wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything. Next is street lighting, poles, lamps. There aren't any there's no street lighting proposed. That would be NA. The next one is parking and building. Lighting is directed away from surrounding properties through the use of hooding, shielding, and or landscaping.
We just got the basic porch light and garage light.
Okay.
That could be the yes or NA. It doesn't sound like there's really any significant lighting, so.
Okay.
We're not installing any light poles.
And the next one is outdoor furniture. I'm assuming there's no outdoor furniture proposed.
No.
Okay, so that one would be NA as well. And the next one, existing trees. There are no existing trees on site, so that one would be NA as well. And same as the next one, rock outcroppings, bodies of water. There's no bodies of water on site. And then next one, historic and heritage preservation. The use of historic markers, information kiosks. There are no historic or heritage preservation on site, so this one would be NA as well. And then last is for duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. Attached garages account for less than 50% of the front face of the structure. Garages visible from the street are articulated by architectural features such as windows to avoid a blank look.
Yes.
Yes.
Second.
Yes.
And buildings provide a complementary facade that faces the public right-of-way and is the primary entrance to a unit or multiple units unless impractical.
Yes.
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 Okay. And that is all that I have for that checklist. Are there any other questions?
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
I will take a motion.
Move to approve as noted.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the SS Design duplexes as is, and a second by Don Redmond. And then and then a roll call. Let's see, Casey Wyckoff,
Yes.
Kevin Brunner,
Yes.
Don Redmond,
Yes.
Whitney Henyon,
Yes.
and Heather Vo.
Yes.
Okay, that passes. Perfect. Okay, if Lauren is there, we can move on to the next one. And let me see. Lauren, do you know who the applicant is for this next project?
It's Lacamas Tech. It would be Chris Bauman. Oh, let me check the attendees. Chris Bauman, James Kessie, Kevin DeFord, Ryan Wing. I think that's it.
Kevin Ford. Okay. And then Slavic, I'm gonna demote you back to a panelist an attendee since we're done with your project.
Thank you.
Let me get this. Okay, so that should be everyone. We still have Vincent Doe and Melinda Robinson as attendees.
I think they're the last project.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. So if I can share my screen here. Okay, can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay. So for Lacamas Tech, the design review committee will be reviewing the standard design review principles and the specific commercial use principles for this project. And in addition to that, the architectural design standards of the business park chapter. It does say in our municipal code that because this is within a business park site, that the design review committee will be reviewing those standards. That's why you will see those in your checklist. That's a little bit different than what you normally would see. So the applicant is currently seeking design review approval for the construction of 6 buildings totaling 118,669 square feet for uses that are permitted in a business park. The property is located west of Northwest Freeburg-Strunk Street and south of Goodwin Road and Northeast 13th. And you can see the golf course over here to the west. For zoning, the property is zoned business park, including the properties immediately to the north and south. To the north is an existing single-family residence, and to the south is a new commercial building. To the west, everything, this whole area here is in Clark County, and over here in this area is a subdivision in that county. Here's a copy of their site plan. They have 3 separate driveways that provide vehicular access into the site off of Freeburg Road. Landscaping, you can see here, is primarily focused at the perimeter of the site with landscaping within the parking areas within several landscape islands. The site itself right now is generally flat. It does have existing vegetation, which includes several trees and grass. So that's my brief presentation on Lacamas Tech. I'm going to turn it over to the applicant at this point to see if they have something they wanted to present or add at this time. Did you have anything to add, Chris, or? Oh, you're unmute.
There we go.
There you go.
No, you did a great job covering it.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and jump into the checklist then. I have a quick question for the committee. Do you guys all have your checklists in front of you?
Yes.
Is that a yes from everybody? I just want to see everybody.
Yes,
I
I've got
do
mine.
not.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again.
So Lauren, are you going through the checklist that was in the packet?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
I will be doing that. You guys see that? Okay. So I do not have a Word version. This is just a PDF, but I'm going to be flipping back to some of the graphics as we go through this. Okay, so the first one, corrugated materials, standing seam, T111 or similar siding materials are avoided unless it produces a high visual or aesthetic quality. Now, just to get your heads wrapped around this, this is building 1. And then in your packets, when you scroll down, the second one was building 2. So when you go to the site plan, you can see where it sits on the site, if that helps in your review. So I'll go back up again to building 1. So does this one meet? Any comments on this one?
I think maybe just to state, so the understanding is the materials are a metal panel system. There's some cedar siding and then some stone veneer. That's the palette? I believe, that's my understanding.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think this would be a yes. I mean, the metal panel that's proposed is a nicer panel, so I wouldn't call it corrugated. It's a nicer panel. So I would say yes.
And just to note this graphic here, you're going to see more when you go through the elevations. You've probably noticed this, that there's more detail on buildings 1, 3, and 5, the 3 buildings that front on Freeburg Strunk. So they're a little bit different in the back of the buildings, but they don't face the right of way. So is that a yes on this one from the group?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Building walls or fences visible from roadways are articulated in order to avoid a blank look.
Yes.
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 The use of bold colors have been avoided unless used as minor accents.
Yes.
Yes.
Higher density, larger structures abutting lower density residential structures have been designed to mitigate size and scale differences.
NA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This next section is landscaping. Vegetation for landscaping includes native low maintenance plantings. Significant trees are retained if feasible. And I do want to note here on this one that they have made quite a bit of an effort there are some significant trees on site, and they have made an effort, especially on the perimeter boundaries you'll see these little pockets of areas here.
Mm-hmm.
Down in this area, those are significant trees that are proposed to be retained.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes.
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 Trees planted along streetscapes with overhead power lines include only those trees identified on the city's tree list. There are already street trees in this. Freeburg Strunk already has street trees here.
Are there overhead power lines at all, though, on this side?
I don't believe that there
I
are.
think they're on that street.
No, I don't think there are.
So maybe this is not applicable if there's no power lines.
Okay. Landscaping, including trees, shrubs, and vegetative ground cover, is provided to visually screen and buffer the use from adjoining less intense uses, including parking.
Yes.
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 Proposed fencing is incorporated into the landscaping so as to have little or no visual impact. This was a question I was going to ask the applicant. Are you guys proposing fencing?
Well, to be honest with you, we're not 100% sure yet. But if we were going to, it would definitely be part of the screening and the buffering. So we'd have the fencing would be behind the buffer so you wouldn't see it. Most of the perimeter is fenced with fencing already. That's part of the abutting properties.
So this is probably a yes. If
Yeah.
the properties to the west that are all, it appeared to be single family residential.
Here.
Those are the properties, I think, Chris, you're referencing that they have existing fencing.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then to the
Makes sense.
south, it's just more of the same type of project use.
Okay.
Down here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Are we ready to move on?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Signs located on buildings or incorporated into the landscaping are unobtrusive and vandal resistant. If illuminated, they are front lit. I don't know if you guys propose or signs at this point.
Not yet, so it'll be part of a tenant improvement submittal, which will be per the city's sign code. But yes to all those items.
Any
Okay.
questions on that from the committee?
Is there any monument signage at all for the complex? Or is that what you're referring to?
Ryan, can you answer that question? There we go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was muted.
Yeah,
I do not see any proposed
Yeah.
monument signage. I don't know if
it's
This is James Kessie, just jumping in here on audio. Actually, we do have 2 sign monuments proposed near, well, actually, I guess all 3 of the entrances. They're noted on the
oh, you're
entrance.
right. Yep.
oh, I see it.
Yeah. So Lauren, if you could zoom into the driveways out on the Freiburg, you'll see.
Is that little white square?
Yeah.
I don't know how I saw that.
I don't know either. I can barely see the screen.
Let's see. Let me give it a whirl here.
If you,
Oops. I didn't go too fast there.
That's good. That's good. So on the right side of that driveway, you'll see a little placeholder for a monument sign.
Okay, but the actual design of that will be a separate submittal?
Yeah.
Or is that, okay,
It'll be a separate
Okay.
submittal.
okay. So maybe this is not applicable. It doesn't sound like there's any signage as a part of this.
Right. And it would be likely conditioned in the staff report.
Mhm.
Okay. Landscape lighting. Low voltage, non-glare indirect lighting is directed, hooded, or shielded away from neighboring properties. Is there, Chris, is there landscape lighting proposed?
There's no real landscape lighting proposed. There is site lighting, which is on the lighting plans.
Okay, so this would be an NA.
Yeah.
Next one, again, talks about street lighting, and street lighting already exists on Freeburg-Strunk. So this would be an NA.
Mhm.
Parking and building lighting is directed away from surrounding properties through the use of hooding, shielding, siding, and or landscaping.
I missed it in terms of where there is site lighting for the parking lot or what that looks like.
Casey, there's a site lighting plan LC09 with
Okay.
attached cut sheets on LC10.
Or maybe you could, I am constrained to a small laptop and I'm wondering, maybe you can describe it.
You want to see the site plan or the?
Oh,
Here we go.
so it's the lighting is located on the building, it looks like. Is that correct then? But
Yes, that
okay.
is correct.
Okay, super.
So this will be a condition of
Any other-
approval.
Well, based on this information, it seems like it's a yes from what we're asked to review, but
Okay. Is there consistent with the committee? Any other
Yes.
questions on that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm
Outdoor
assuming
furniture.
that's the example of the lights that are on the next page too.
Yeah.
Right there.
Top left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the building lighting or the,
That's correct, Lauren.
next one, outdoor furniture samples are consistent with the overall project design.
Currently, there's not any outdoor furniture proposed.
So NA.
Existing trees over 6-inch DBH, diameter breast height, that are not required to be removed to accommodate the proposed development retain incorporated in the landscape plan. That would be yes.
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 Rock outcroppings, forested area, and water bodies are retained. That's not applicable.
Correct.
Okay, the next section, historic and heritage preservation, the use of historic markers, information kiosks, project names, architectural features, or other elements of the project promote the historic heritage of the site or surrounding area.
I guess I can jump in on that. The name Lacamas Tech is intended to kind of complement the nature and history of the area. I'm not aware of any other elements that would be appropriate.
Yeah, I don't see anything else.
I feel
would
like
say
it's a NA then. I mean,
Yeah.
or a yes. It's there. There's nothing historic out there.
maybe
Okay.
not, I like that.
I mean, yeah. I'd love it if there was.
Okay, now we'll move on to the specific principles and guidelines for commercial and mixed uses. Landscaping and screening, intersections are illuminated but not dominated by lighting. Lighting is incorporated into the landscape and illuminates the quality of the natural environment. Street light poles and lamps are compatible with other nearby lighting on the same street. Well, this is an NA, they're not.
Yep.
Mhm.
doing that.
NA.
Parking spaces are clustered in small groupings and separated by landscaping to create a pedestrian-friendly park-like environment.
I would agree.
Yeah, it looks that way.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. On-site parking areas are located to the interior of the development unless site development proved prohibitive.
I think yes. I mean, it makes sense. There is parking on the perimeter, but also the interior.
And I would say that the majority of the parking is located behind the buildings and to the sides.
Right.
Also point out, we made an effort to screen along Freiburg there to screen the parking. With
I'd say
landscape.
this is a yes.
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 Okay. Parking areas are screened with landscaping.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Buildings are placed close to streets and roads unless site constraints made it impossible or characteristics of the surrounding properties already developed made it incompatible. Otherwise, retail frontage setbacks do not exceed 25 feet from back of curb.
I would say yes. I mean, I think the intent is, if the intent is not to have a big box building pushed to the back of a site with big sea of parking in front of it, then I would say then yes, this is working to achieve that intent.
I agree.
Yes, agreed.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Window and door placement provides a high degree of transparency at the lower levels of the building and maximize visibility of pedestrian active uses. And I wanted
Yes.
to bring this one up. Whoops.
Hmm.
Was that a yes, or I could bring up the elevation too?
I say
Yes.
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 Okay. Each use activity in a development containing multiple uses and activities is integrated in a manner that achieves a seamless appearance or creates a cohesive development.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Watering system will maintain proposed landscaping for a period to ensure that all the plants are all well established.
We haven't done an irrigation plan yet, but yes, it'll all be irrigated.
And the next one is new streets intersecting commercial properties are designed to create a safe environment. There's no new streets as part of this, so this one would be an NA. Okay, moving on to the architectural design standards in the business park. Okay, a minimum of 75% of the walls visible from the right-of-way, excluding glass, shall be indigenous, such as cedar, wood, logs, brick, stone, rusticated block, or comparable modular masonry are preferred. New materials that convey the texture, scale, color, and finish similar to these natural products will be considered where appropriate. Large blank walls facing the right-of-way are prohibited.
Yes.
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 Okay. Secondary materials such as metal siding may be used as accents and may compose 25% of the walls visible from the right-of-way, excluding glass.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Prefabricated metal buildings or structures are not permitted.
NA.
NA.
Glare reduction, all glazing must be low reflective, i.e. tinted or tilted glass.
Lauren, I don't believe we've made any glass selection, but certainly we'll comply with this.
Use muted earth tone colors for building and roof materials.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Bright colors are only appropriate for accents.
Yes.
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 A minimum of 75% of the exterior walls seen from the public right-of-way shall have muted tones.
Yes.
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 Okay, now this section's on building massing and scale. Provide a human scale to the primary entrance.
Yes. I think so.
And then I should, sorry, I wanted to show the other, buildings too, just to make sure you guys are also reviewing those as well. These ones are in the back behind the other buildings. Express the position of each floor in the external design of the building by changing materials between floors, or use an expression line or articulate structural elements. Structural elements.
So this would be not applicable. That's for a multi-story building.
Correct. These are all single story.
NA.
Avoid large panelized products or extensive featureless surfaces.
Yes, I mean, it's a business park and it's a big box, but they've done a good job of articulating the materials on the sides that people will primarily see. So I think that would be.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah, agreed.
And even on the
Agreed.
ones in the back, they'll have this
Mhm,
different architectural elements going on there.
mhm.
Okay. Roof form. Incorporate at least two of the following. A flat roof with a parapet that screens rooftop equipment from view. Is that yes or no or NA?
There's
Or
no
not.
rooftops units shown, so
Yeah.
I'll consider that as long as we don't see them.
Okay. A cornice or molding to define the top of a parapet.
We just need two of these, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I think parts of this do.
So all of the buildings have parapets with low sloped roofs. The buildings fronting the right of way, we have kind of stepped the buildings to give interest and increase height of parapets to hide any mechanical units.
That would be this year.
Yes, and on that area, we would propose a more of a decorative cornice versus the traditional coping on the rest of the building.
Okay.
So that first one would be
Yes.
a yes then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And the second one, is that a yes as well? The second one was a cornice or molding to define the top of a parapet.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's two. The other remaining ones is overhang eaves.
Oh, we don't have any eaves, but all of the building entries do have a steel canopy system.
So that would be a yes then as well.
Sloping roofs with a minimum pitch of 4 to 12
That's a no.
And
Not
No.
applicable.
and multiple roof planes.
No.
Okay, next section is mechanical equipment. All vents, flues, or other protrusions through the roof. I don't think that you have any, I don't know, but less than 16 inches in diameter need not be screened from view, but must be painted or treated to blend with the color of the background. All such vents, flues, or other protrusions through the roof more than 16 inches in diameter shall be considered mechanical equipment and shall be screened from view.
There is no mechanical design, but anything that certainly does fall within any of those requirements will be met.
Okay, the next section is refuse and storage. Refuse areas and surface storage areas are to be located under cover and are not visible from the public right of way or adjacent properties.
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Next section is fencing. A wrought iron fence, vinyl coated chain link, masonry, stone, or a combination may be up to 6 feet high along the front property line or within the front yard setback.
I don't know. This is not applicable, isn't it? If there's no.
I don't think that we're.
I'd agree, not NA.
Security fencing shall be compatible with landscaping of the entire site. Evergreen plant material will be located adjacent to security fencing and shall provide a vegetation screen when mature.
So we have proposed, Security fencing is not proposed at this time, but we do have evergreen buffer planting that would satisfy that.
Okay, yes.
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 And then lighting shall be directed to the interior of the site and shielded from adjacent properties. Building lighting is to be concealed and indirect.
Yes.
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 Okay, we made it through the checklist.
Mhm.
Any questions for the applicant or
No.
No?
do I have a motion?
Go for it, Whitney.
Sure. I move to accept the proposed development on Freiburg Road.
Second.
Oh, I'm sorry, who's seconded? Is that Casey? Okay,
Casey seconded.
okay. So it's moved by Whitney and seconded by Casey to recommend approval of the Lacamas Tech Business Park. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? Okay. The recommendation passes.
Hey, Lauren, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This is Kevin. Hey, I just want to say that we're super excited about this development.
Mhm.
In proposing this, we looked at the area that we're in, the market that we're in, and we think as a group that you've got to go all the way over to Fourth Plain, or you have to go all the way out to Washougal to get something like this. And this should afford the opportunity as we come out of this pandemic for some of the smaller businesses to maybe get into an incubator situation and have some really nice services and office local companies fill up along Freiburg Road. But I just want to just generally say that we're excited about this because we don't think there's anything like this. There's a lot of retail, obviously not in Camas along 192nd, et cetera, but we think this is a product that is going to offer some smaller businesses some opportunities. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. If nothing else, I think we're ready to move on to the next agenda item.
Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You.
Bye.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks.
Hold on one second. Let me get the other two attendees to panelists. Okay. Okay, Lauren, ready when you are.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Okay. Second item on the agenda is the Camas Professional Center. And the design review committee will be reviewing the standard design review principles, the specific principles that are applicable to a commercial use, and also, again, the architectural design standards for the business park. The applicant is currently seeking design review approval for the construction of a 2-story, 20,000 square foot medical office building. The property is located east of Camas Meadows Drive, which is right here. The property is zoned business park, including all the properties on all its sides. It's important to note here that this project site is actually part of the approved Parklands at Camas Meadows Mixed-Use Master Plan Development Agreement, which is comprised of both residential and commercial business uses. So that's why you see, oh, we can see my hand there. Okay, these are all residential lots here in the business park zone. And then these larger parcels here, well, actually this is all one, but these are different pads of the parklands for commercial uses. Northwest Camas Meadows, again, abuts the site on its west side. Vehicular access to the site is provided off of there. Landscaping is focused at the perimeter and within the parking area. The site itself is relatively flat, and the grade does drop towards slightly in the back down towards those residential lots. And the existing vegetation, as you can see by the aerial, there's just no grass, no trees. It's pretty much bare. So at this point, I'd like to see if the applicant wanted to have anything to add or present anything.
I have nothing to add.
Okay. We will go ahead and get, I'll pull up the checklist. Sorry, here, I'm going to try and get the. Just start with. Sorry about that. Hang on one second. I got booted out. Ugh. Got too many tabs up, I think. Let's see. Okay, so we'll start with architecture. First one, corrugated material, standing seam, T111 or similar siding materials are avoided unless it produces a high visual or aesthetic quality.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys had a chance to look through these, but.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Building walls or fences visible from roadways are articulated in order to avoid a blank look.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The use of bold colors has been avoided unless used as minor accents.
Yes.
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 Higher density, larger structures abutting lower density residential structures have been designed to mitigate size and scale differences.
I guess I have a question. It's not yet about the building. On the side that the proposed building abuts the residential property, so that topography is sloping down towards the residences, is that correct? And go ahead.
Oh, are you talking about this grading here?
Yes.
Yes, it slopes down towards so the lots sit below this building.
And is the at the property line or near the property line, is there a retaining wall at all?
There's a retaining wall that sits about approximately 10 feet from the property line. It sits about, so here's the property line and that wall sits about right here.
And forgive me, I don't recall, how tall is that wall at that point?
I'm going to ask the applicant to answer that. I don't know.
It's about 30 inches tall.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was trying to get the sense of the proposed building on top of a retaining wall and the residences kind of looking up at it, kind of what that scale was. So thank you. So I guess the question is in terms of the scale, correct, Lauren?
Correct. Size and scale differences.
Yeah, I would say it's yes, and because the proposed building is not, it's not, 3-4 stories tall. It's not a hugely out of scale with, I'm assuming those are likely like 2-story residences. So
Yes. And there's about a 10-foot landscape buffer here.
True.
I'd say yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yes.
Landscaping and screening. Vegetation for landscaping includes native low maintenance plantings. Significant trees are retained if feasible. There weren't any trees on the site, so.
I give you props for quantity of new trees, though. Nice job.
I was curious in the rendering, it looks like there might be some palm trees though, which is interesting. I assume that's just for graphic.
Yeah, so what you're looking at here is the proposed landscape plan, and they did not propose any palm trees.
Okay, we're yes then.
Okay. Next one, trees planted along streetscapes with overhead power lines include only those trees identified on the city's tree list, which they're not proposing any.
NA.
NA.
Landscaping, including trees, shrubs, and vegetative ground cover, is provided to visually screen and buffer the use from adjoining less intense uses, including parking.
Yes.
Yes.
Proposed fencing is incorporated into the landscaping so as to have little or no impact. I'm going to ask the applicant, is there fencing proposed?
There's none currently proposed.
I couldn't quite hear.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's none currently proposed.
None? Okay.
NA.
NA. Signs located on buildings or incorporated into the landscaping are unobtrusive and vandal resistant. If illuminated, they are front lit. I just saw a sign on the building. I don't know about in the
I don't recall seeing any signage outside of what was on the building.
Yeah.
There's a big sign by the street, but
Oh, that's right.
a rather large one.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
How could we miss that? That one.
Oh, there you go.
How is that sign lit?
We haven't developed it yet.
Okay,
So it'll probably come in as a separate building permit.
okay, great.
So yeah, it'll be conditioned at that time. So for here, I don't think we need to.
So NA for now?
Landscape lighting, low voltage, non-glare, indirect lighting is directed, hooded, or shielded away from the neighboring properties. Eric, I think you guys submitted a lighting plan, didn't you?
We didn't submit a plan, just a cut sheet of the fixture we were considering on doing. We have no landscape lighting proposed. And
Okay,
we're in the process of designing the parking lot lighting, which I realize will be down the list of the criteria.
okay, so the landscape lighting would be NA because you're not proposing that, right?
Right.
Okay. The next one is for street lighting, but there's already street lighting out there on Camas Meadows Drive, so that would be an NA. The next section talks about parking and building lighting. And so, Eric, the parking lot lighting that we're seeing now, is that going to be redesigned, or
Yeah.
is that?
I'm sorry. The parking lot lighting that you see in this render was just a placeholder.
Okay,
And we're in the process right now of doing the full parking lot lighting design for cutoffs to make sure we don't bleed on
okay,
property.
And so the cut sheet of the lighting, though, that's currently the type versus what's rendered, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct.
Okay, that sounds good. Yes.
Yes.
yes, okay. Outdoor furniture samples are consistent with the overall project design.
NA.
Well, there was
Is there-
furniture in that rendering on the side in that garden area. I don't,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about here. Let's see. Back here?
yeah.
Oh,
I would say the NA or yes. I don't know that this is objectionable.
Yeah, agreed.
So
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I'll mark it as yes. Okay, the next one is existing trees over 6-inch DBH. There were no existing trees, so this is an NA. And the next one, guideline talks about rock outcroppings, forested areas, and water bodies. That's also an NA. Next section, historic and heritage preservation. The use of historic markers, information kiosks, project names, architectural features, or other elements of the project promote the historic heritage of the site or surrounding area.
NA.
Okay. Next section is landscaping again. It talks about intersections are illuminated but not dominated by lighting. Lighting is incorporated into the landscape and illuminates the quality of the natural environment. Street light poles and lamps are compatible with other nearby lighting on the same street. We're not proposing to light intersections.
Yes.
See if I can pull up the Parking spaces are clustered in small groupings and separated by landscaping to create a pedestrian-friendly park-like environment.
Is there a requirement for landscaping? I don't know what how many, I don't know what the count is per stall and then landscaping.
Yeah, so that will be part of the technical review the staff will be doing, to be looking at the required number of parking islands.
Okay.
So that will be a condition.
Okay.
So then yes for now.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a park-like environment with all the landscaping, so I'd say yes.
Okay, so next section is streetscape. On-site parking areas are located to the interior of the development unless site development proved prohibitive. So this is again where I brought up the parklands at Camas Meadows mixed use plan. It was approved with parking out towards the front of the building, with a required 5-foot landscape setback, which they've provided here. So this does meet the development agreement.
Okay.
So yes.
Yes.
Parking areas are screened with landscaping.
Yes.
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 And then this one again talks about buildings being placed close to the streets, but again, the DA approved. It could be set back further.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I did it again. Sorry about that. Window and door placement provides a high degree of transparency at the lower levels of the building and maximize visibility of pedestrian active uses. I'm just going to try and pull that up. Oh, I did it again. Sorry.
I'd say yes.
Yeah, yes.
If you can you remember it?
Yeah.
Okay. Each use activity in a development containing multiple uses activities is integrated in a manner that achieves a seamless appearance or creates a cohesive development.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The watering system will maintain proposed landscaping for a period to ensure that plants are well established. And that's going to be a condition of approval with the staff report.
Okay.
New streets intersecting commercial properties, they're not proposing any new streets, so this is an NA. There we go. Building materials. A minimum of 75% of the walls visible from the right-of-way excluding glass, shall be indigenous, such as cedar, wood logs, brick, stone, rusticated block, or comparable modular masonry are preferred. New materials that convey the texture, scale, color, and finish similar to these natural products will be considered where appropriate. Large blank walls facing the right-of-way are prohibited.
Well, it doesn't appear to be those materials.
Is it a tilt up or what are besides the metal panels?
It's brick veneer.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Well,
Great.
then I'll say yes.
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 Secondary materials such as metal siding may be used as accents and may compose 25% of the walls visible from the right-of-way, excluding glass. you want me to show you guys any other of the elevations?
So are the other materials, yeah, it might be helpful. I mean, so is it all brick veneer except for the piece?
The rectangular boxes, pre-finished metal panel.
Okay. I think then if the rest is a brick veneer, then it seems, Lauren, that the answer would be yes.
Prefabricated metal buildings or structures are not permitted.
NA.
Okay. Glare reduction, all glazing must be low reflective, tinted or tilted glass.
Would that be just a condition of approval, since I'm assuming the glass hasn't been selected yet?
Glass actually has been selected.
Okay.
Just a second.
I didn't hear that.
I think he's getting a sample.
Oh,
He didn't submit a color board, is that correct?
No,
On
we
the-
submitted it. I don't know if you can see this, but it's actually a 9% reflection out. It's a very deep blue. Very, very low reflectance.
Okay, great.
Yes.
okay. Use muted earth tone colors for building and roof materials.
Yes.
Yes.
Bright colors are only appropriate for accents.
Yes.
Yes.
A minimum of 75% of the exterior walls seen from the public right-of-way shall have muted tones.
Yes.
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 Next section is building massing and scale. Provide a human scale to the primary entrance.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Express the position of each floor in the external design of the building by changing materials between floors, or use an expression line or articulate structural elements.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Avoid large panelized products or extensive featureless surfaces.
Yes.
Yes.
This next section is on roof form. Incorporate at least two of the following. A flat roof with a parapet that screens rooftop equipment from view.
Is there any other information about the rooftop equipment or anything?
We're going to use a VRF system, so the chillers in this photograph, or in this render, the chillers, which will be about, or condensers, which will be about 6 feet tall, are going to be at the back left-hand corner of this render. They'll be not visible from the street or the parking lot.
Okay.
There's no rooftop mechanical of any kind.
We'll go with a yes.
A cornice or molding to define the top of a parapet.
There's not a cornice or molding, but I wouldn't,
Mm.
it doesn't match the building design, so I wouldn't want one.
Exactly.
Overhang eaves.
Yes.
Yes.
At the-
Yes.
Yeah.
Sloping roofs with a minimum pitch of 412.
NA or no.
Multiple roof planes.
No.
No.
Okay, now mechanical equipment. All vents, flues, or other protrusions through the roof less than 16 inches in diameter need not be screened from view, but must be painted or treated to blend with the color of the background. All such vents, flues, or other protrusions through the roof more than 16 inches in diameter shall be considered mechanical equipment and shall be screened from view.
The only roof penetrations will be vent to roof stacks for the sewer.
So yes, or complies.
Okay. Refuse areas and service storage areas are to be located under cover and are not visible from the public right of way or adjacent properties.
If you go to the floor plan, or the, excuse me, the site plan,
Yeah, let's see. Try to do this without. Does that help? That one or?
works well enough. That works well enough.
Okay,
The southeast corner, yep. It's proposed to be a refuse enclosure. It will be covered per requirement.
Okay.
And is screened from the adjacent industrial, or excuse me, commercial property by the landscaping.
Then yes.
fencing. A wrought iron fence, vinyl coated chain link, masonry, stone, or a combination may be up to 6 feet high along the front property line or within the front yard setback. I don't think you're proposing that, are you, Eric?
Oh, there's no fencing of any kind proposed.
Okay. What about security fencing?
None at this time.
Okay. So that would be an NA. And then again, lighting shall be directed to the interior of the site and shielded from adjacent properties. Building lighting is to be concealed and indirect.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's the end of the checklist. Is there any additional questions for the applicant at this point? No. Okay, are you guys ready to do a motion?
I move to approve the Camas Professional Center per note, as noted.
Wait, I want to make sure I know who that is here. Who was that?
That was Heather.
Heather, okay, thank you. Sorry, I had to change my screens here, okay. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Who's that?
That was Kevin.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it was moved by Heather and seconded by Kevin to recommend approval of the Lacamas Tech Business Park. Anybody all in favor?
That was the Camas Professional Center, right? I think you said.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Camas Professional Center. I'm sorry. Thank you for that catch. Okay, let me do this again. It was moved by Heather, seconded by Kevin to recommend approval of the Camas Professional Center. All in favor?
Yes.
Yeah, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the recommendation passes. Well, thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Hey, Whitney. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Take care, all.
Thank you, Eric. Hi, good evening, everybody. I've been just kind of listening here. Before we take off, I just want to thank you all for all your efforts, especially through this strange and odd year. We do appreciate your service to the community. We really do. Thank you. Next year, we do plan on having some other projects come before you. Just as a kind of a quick update, we've had with the first few weeks with COVID, everybody kind of shut down, but we as community development planning picked up not long after that and figured out a way to navigate through all this. So I want to thank staff for doing such an awesome job with all this stuff and having to navigate through all the technology. But I do want to thank you all for your dedication in the committee, because that does really help us. stay safe out there this holiday season, and stay tuned. We'll have some pretty fun and exciting projects coming next year. And I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have, just the things that's floating around out there. Otherwise, I just want to thank you for your service.
No, thank you very much. It's an exciting time to be connected to Camas. So
Absolutely.
things
All right.
ahead.
Well, happy holidays, everybody.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.